How's it going, everybody? This is the Board Certified Gaming Podcast, the best podcast in the world, according to my mom and dad. They think it's great.
Thanks, Andy's mom and dad.
You should listen to it.
I can't wait to give them a high five next time I see them.
So we talk about video games a bunch, if you haven't guessed that already. Check out our other episodes.
If you don't know what video games are, it's this box. You plug into a TV, you hit power, and it's like movies that you interact with.
Okay, so that's new to me. So I guess we're going to have to do some
What
more
do you think we've been
here.
doing for the last 12 episodes?
This is episode 12.
This is the Aaron Rodgers episode.
Yeah, so...
This is that Hail Mary.
All right.
Speaking of Hail Marys,
What?
Google Stadia.
There you go.
Boom.
We're going to talk about Google Stadia.
What about that
today.
segue?
That was okay.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That was good. Packers just won, so
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I felt like we had to throw that in there for our number 12.
We're going to talk about Google Stadia today, which is kind of new to us and new to people around the world because this is kind of a new thing that's never happened before.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a game changer.
Yeah.
Pun absolutely intended. It's kind of a
video
game changer. Yeah. But we're going to get into that in a little bit. But first, we have some things to take care of. We are a podcast, obviously. And we
What?
are... I know.
Oh,
I know.
man.
I know. It's okay. I just found out shortly.
Start over. Can't even do it.
We are a podcast on multiple platforms, and we're getting bigger by the day. We have more platforms that we're on. Too many to name because, honestly, I forgot them. But mostly, for all the people that enjoy podcasts out there, we have a platform that you listen to that we are on. So either look for us, look for the links that we have. You'll see us. There's multiple ways to listen to us, whether you're Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Google Podcasts, if you're into that. We're branching out to more things like Stitcher and all these other places, which hopefully will accept us because we're nice. And yeah, so go listen to those. Also, we have a Twitter and Instagram account. BCG Podcast is the Twitter account, and Board Certified Gaming Podcast is the Instagram account. Pretty self-explanatory what you can find on there. So go check those out. And as always, leave a review or a comment or some kind of like or subscription or something, just so we know that you guys are enjoying what we do and are keeping up with it and are having a good time.
Because I'm tired of paying myself $5 a month.
There we go. I am too. I'm running out of money to pay for myself.
Because at the end of the day, we split it 50-50 and we realize, well, it's just money back. It's like a bank account.
Half of zero is still zero, accordingly.
Speaking of bank accounts, did I ever tell you, did I ever share that one? It was like a Reddit post. This guy never had a bank account. His job paid him.
How is that possible?
So what he would do is his job paid him. I really want to find it. His job paid him like checks.
Yeah, regular money. Yeah.
And he would go, you can go to like Walmart or whatever, and like you can cash a check without having an account at places. Like you can even
should make it to cash. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can even go to a bank and like I think they maybe take a fee. But essentially what this guy did, because he didn't trust banks, he would go somewhere, he would cash his check, and then he would take the money to his local GameStop and pre-order a shit ton of games.
Wow.
And any time that he needed to pull cash out, like to go to the bar, dinner, movie, whatever,
cancel the pre-order.
he would go cancel the pre-order and get his cash back.
Jesus,
Yeah.
that's a very cool system.
I would think
but a
eventually,
very inefficient one.
And he loved it because there was no fees.
Yeah.
There's no membership fee, no overdraft fees,
Jesus
nothing.
Christ.
Yeah. So he did this for a while and he was like, yeah, the only thing that kind of sucks is, if I need cash after 9 p.m., like, well,
You're kind of screwed.
yeah, GameStops are closed.
So GameStop was the OG cryptocurrency.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So he went
GameStop
in,
pre-orders
and he's
OG
like,
cryptocurrency.
Barbie's Race and Ride, PS1.
Yeah, give me that shit.
Let me put $60 on there.
Actually, a week later, I don't think I want it. I'm going to take my money back.
I mean, they're just like, whatever, dude.
I like how he doesn't trust banks, but he trusts a corporation that sells video games. Like they need my money. They're going to hold on to my money.
I think the selling point was there's no fees. There's no ATM fee. He
That's
had
true.
to go to a GameStop to withdraw his money. Because I think he even said like, yeah, I would walk in and like they would pull up all my pre-orders. Like, what do you want to cancel? I'm like, what?
Dude, you have a lot of stuff pre-ordered.
Like,
wrong with you?
what did I put $60 on? Like, whatever, Sometimes maybe he like would pre-order like the special editions
Yeah.
for like $300.
Just to
So
put
if like
more
he had
money down,
if he had a big bill, yeah.
Wow, that one
Genius.
he is a genius, but he's also an insane person. So you're both ends of that spectrum.
I'm curious if he's still doing it.
I doubt it. Please go to a bank if you are. Speaking of bank accounts, the last plug we have is Patreon. If you guys are enjoying this, like a lot, we would appreciate your support. Anything you support us with will 100% go to making this podcast the best it possibly can be. And it will come back to you in ways of our content is better, more consistent.
And I will actually show up to your house and hug you.
Yes. And Amar will come and
How wild would
talk
that
to
be?
you. And yeah, go ahead and check that out. The links for everything are on every single profile we have. So just go look at them.
Check us out.
Thank
While
you.
You're checking us out.
While you're checking us out, check us out.
Just do a double take.
Yeah. So we're going to get into Google Stadia, which if you have not heard about this, we don't blame you. It feels very like tiny, but it's actually a really big deal. Like it
Yep.
feels like it's not being talked about what this actually is.
Not enough.
Amar knows more about what this actually is, so just try and
That's a lot of pressure.
I know, but try and summarize it as best as you can at what it is.
Let me see what Wikipedia has to say. No, so
Amar's nickname is Wikipedia.
it's my middle name. So essentially what Stadia is it's a cloud streaming service that Google is trying to jump into. And essentially what that means is it's no consoles, none of that like gimmicky
no box.
bullshit. Yeah, no box. I mean, there is a box. You get the Chromecast with it, but
it's not a giant size of a pizza box thing that you need to buy.
So it's supposed to, from what I've been reading online, is it's supposed to compete with the Xbox xCloud, Project xCloud.
They're trying to do that.
And it's
too.
also supposed to compete with NVIDIA's GeForce Now and Sony's PlayStation Now, which
is canceled. I think PlayStation Now is done.
No, it's still a thing. You're thinking of PlayStation View.
Okay.
Which
they got so many
rest
services.
in peace. I loved PlayStation View, but we'll get into that
That's
another
TV.
day.
That's TV. This is games.
It was sweet.
So it's a streaming service that is using.
It's not a streaming service.
It's not a streaming service.
So you're not. I mean, it is and it isn't. So basically, the way that it's going to be run is think Steam and having a Steam library, but not having the equipment for it. So that's kind of how I would relate this more towards. Like I said, I pulled it up on Wikipedia real quick, and it said it competes with the PlayStation Now service. I guess.
Yeah.
Because PlayStation Now, they now allow downloads, but they used to do it where you would only stream the games.
Yeah.
This is probably closer to what Project xCloud is going to be.
Okay.
And a little bit for the PC side of things of what NVIDIA's GeForce Now is. So like NVIDIA's GeForce Now, for example, lets you stream games from your library, but it connects to a server.
Yeah.
So you don't need the equipment for it. You just need a good internet connection.
Yeah. So that's the whole difference, is that if I want to play a game, it's not you are going into the files of some kind of box or some kind of disk and saying, okay, put up these files and pick up where I left off.
I would think there's probably still some local storage involved with it, but
the whole thing is
can't see it being like how it is now, like where you pop in a PS4 disc and it's like you got to download 60 gigs.
But this one is, okay, I want to play this game, boot up the app, click a game. Okay, I want to play this game. It sends a signal to the server and is like, okay, this person wants to play this game. Then they said, okay, here's the game.
Something like that.
It's like Netflix, kind of. But for games.
Except it's like, it's Netflix, but you have to pay for what you want to play.
Yeah.
So like imagine having Netflix and you want to watch The Office, but Netflix is free, but you have to buy The Office.
You have to buy the individual seasons of The Office.
So right now in a week's time is the Founders Edition. So that retailed for $150.
I think I saw something like that.
130.
130.
So, because I'm on the Stadia site right now. Excuse me. Retailed for 130. What that gets you is the controller, the Chromecast, and it gets you 3 months of like the premium version.
The Chromecast is the thing you plug into the TV.
Correct.
That connects to the controller, right?
The Chromecast, think of it like a Roku.
Yeah.
Or like an Apple TV.
Gotcha.
So it connects to a TV and transforms that TV into a smart TV.
Gotcha. It's what gives you Google's to have the app to go on Stadia.
Within the settings of the Chrome, I've never used a Chromecast, but I'm assuming within the settings there is a way to connect Bluetooth or a peripheral
so
or
you
whatever.
might connect it to the TV or something,
Right.
more than the actual plug-in.
Right.
Okay.
So that's and the other thing with Stadia too is like it's supposed to run like not just off of the Chromecast, but it's supposed to like on PCs run through the Google Chrome browser.
Yeah,
they
that's
want
what I
they
saw.
want to make it running on phones, tablets.
That's what I saw. It's just like an app. It's an app. It's not like a device or a
Correct.
plug-in. It's just literally it's an app that you use however you get to use it. The Chromecast
Correct.
is to make it so you can get the app if your TV doesn't have
It's an app and it's a
Google
store.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, because what they're going to do, so right now, next week, they're going to be launching the Founders Edition. So if you
Yeah.
paid the $130, you get all those controller, Chromecast,
Mhm.
3 months. Sometime in 2020, they're launching just the base version, which, like Steam, free to create an account, free to have. You can manage all your games, stuff like that. You can still stream, but you have to pay for the games outright.
Yeah.
So with like the $10 a month version, I want to say it's $10 a month. They'll do kind of what Xbox and Sony does, where you know it's hey, because you pay for gold or because you play for PS Now, here's some free games.
Yeah.
Have fun, and as long as you keep subscribing to the service, you can play these games.
And it sounds like I don't obviously know as much about it, but this sounds like a pretty big fucking deal.
It's yeah.
Like this.
I mean,
this could get rid of, because when you are streaming a game, as opposed to I have this game on a hard drive and I want to play it, you actually need to have the hardware to do it.
Right.
Whereas this one, it's just the hardware is somebody else's.
You just have to pay your internet service.
You just
provider.
have to have a good internet connection and a TV.
Right.
That's all you need.
And that's going to come with problems on its own.
Yeah.
Because the reason why console gaming is so successful is because it always has been.
Yeah, it's more
was the first of its
reliable, I
kind.
think. Yeah.
It's direct. You know, like the only latency that you experience is between the console and the controller when you're playing wirelessly.
Which is minimal at this point.
I haven't looked too much into the latency issues with the Stadia.
That's got to be the concern.
I have heard some people saying that there is some lag associated with it, but
yeah.
you know, there's multiple things that factor into it, like how many people are overloading the different Stadia servers.
Yeah.
How good is your internet connection? Are there other people in your home using an internet connection?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where I'm excited, but I would be more impressed if this thing takes off significantly than fail.
Yeah.
Like if you told me in a year's time
that it's dead,
we record episode 50 whatever, and it's like, oh, remember Google Stadia?
Stadia is dead.
It's like when the N-Gage came out.
Just like Google Glass, it is dead after a year.
It's like when the N-Gage came out. You know, they were trying to like revolutionize gaming and do, you know, when the fucking PSP and the DS were out, and, you know, these were full-fledged games. So now it's like, you have a phone. Like they had a good concept because obviously mobile gaming is a thing now.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was like,
nobody cares.
Who the fuck wants an N-Gage? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which, I mean, it sounds like this is getting minimal play, and it's actually like a bigger deal than people are acting like it, because like this could change, because I don't have a gaming PC,
right?
And like my hardware is limited to consoles right now, and if like I don't need the consoles now and I can play any game, whether it be PC games or console games, just on my TV however I want to do it, just hook up a keyboard or a mouse or the controller that they give you, or a controller that you already have, well, then I don't need to spend thousands of dollars on a computer when I can spend, you know, take that $2,000 I'd spend building
and just deal with your ISP for like data caps or some
and
shit,
make sure that my internet is the best it possibly can be,
and that you don't have data caps.
Yeah,
because I mean, like at least around here,
that is a problem.
Like here in Wisconsin, we only get to choose with AT&T and Spectrum, basically, especially if you're like southeastern Wisconsin, like we are. And AT&T has data caps where Spectrum doesn't. So AT&T, after a while, like they charge you for the extra data caps, whereas Spectrum, I believe, just throttles you.
Yeah.
So there's that too. You know, I mean, I didn't pre-order the Founders Edition because
which it sounds like a deal.
It does, considering, you know, the controller itself is, like you said before we started, $70,
which is a lot.
The Chromecast, I don't know how much a Chromecast is. So it's $70 plus $30 if you do the $10 a month,
and then you get 3 months of
which is the $30. So it's that $10 a month. A Chromecast retails for about $35. So you're saving $5 or $10 with this service, but
Instead
at the
of just
same
buying everything.
but at the same token, you get early access to it,
Yeah.
and because you have that monthly, like I think they said that Assassin's Creed Odyssey
is
Origins,
Odyssey is the newest one.
one of those is going to be free.
Okay. What I mean, that's
because that's going to be like, we're the free game of the month.
Because they like, and you probably said this, but I'm going to reiterate: the subscription service you don't need to participate because you already
Correct.
buy the game.
As far as I'm aware,
it's a
right?
free app, but you buy the games to play. This is just like a, hey, want a free game?
Pay us.
Like, want some other benefits that these regular normies who don't subscribe to us have? Here you go. Pay $10 a month.
Right.
Which, I mean, the fact that it is a free app and you just got to buy games that you're buying anyway,
Right.
is like, this is Netflix for games, ultimately.
I mean, that's what the Game Pass was.
Yeah. Like,
and Xbox is booming with the Game Pass. I mean, if you think back to 2013 when they first announced the Xbox One and the PS4, and just the completely different tone and the dynamic between the two conferences, where PS4 was user friendly, game sharing friendly, we're all about community, and Xbox took this like 180 shift from being like, hey, we went from Xbox Live was this huge thing. You know, everybody was playing Xbox Live between 2005 and 2012.
Yeah.
And now, you know, everything's DRM protected. You have to be online. It's a complete 180 for Microsoft, you know, because now it's like Microsoft is slowly, I mean, I've even said it to you, like just in personal conversations, where I'm leaning more towards playing my Xbox One than I am my PS4, because I'm paying essentially the same for both.
But you get a lot more.
But I'm getting so much more value. I mean, I'm paying the, you know, $10 a month. Like, I mean, of course we do the yearly, whatever, but I'm doing like the $10 a month for PlayStation Now, which before used to give me, because I had a PS4, PS3, and a Vita, gave me 6 free games a month. And then they cut support for the PS3 and Vita. So now I only get 2 PS4 games. And Xbox is just like, hey, pay me $15 a month.
150.
Yeah, pay me $15 a month for Game Pass Ultimate. You get 4 games a month, 2 Xbox One, 2 Xbox 360 games. On top of that, here's an entire library full of games. You know, it's more bang for my buck, essentially.
I was hesitant to join Game Pass because I didn't understand it fully, but once I did, I'm like, holy shit.
Well, and that was the huge like difference between Game Pass and, because Sony was doing PlayStation Now for a while, but the huge difference was PlayStation Now, you had to, like Google Stadia, you have to be online.
Yeah.
You know, and you're streaming.
And I tried.
Whereas Xbox Game Pass, you only have to be connected online to download the game.
Yeah, you can play
After
whenever.
that, you can be disconnected. Maybe it does like how Nintendo does it with the Switch.
And if there are some games that you want to play online, obviously you have to be online.
Right. And, you know, maybe it does, you know, I haven't tested like the offline capabilities of the Game Pass, but maybe it's similar to Nintendo with their Switch Online, where every 7 days it has to check to make sure that you're still a valid subscriber.
Yeah.
You know, before it lets you into the software.
Yeah. And it's kind of making this shift. Like, obviously, as technology is improving and the ability to do this is more available to people. Like, the things that these cost are minimal compared to like a $60 game. Like, you're gonna pay the $60 for the game anyway,
regardless.
Like, you're paying $10, or in Google Stadia's case, nothing, just to play this game, and then you don't have to buy the console, which saves you a couple $100, and you don't have to build a PC, which saves you thousands of dollars. And then it's getting to the point where this shift has become video games kind of as a service, where it's not like you're buying the physical thing, like, because you don't own a game theoretically. Like, when you buy a disc, you don't own that game. You have a license to play that game.
Well, no, when you buy the disc, you own the game.
No, you don't. That disc is a license to play, which they can revoke. They don't, but that's technically true.
Really?
Yeah. It's a disc is a license to play the game. You don't own anything, which is weird.
Right.
But that's how it is. And this is kind of be like, all right, then I'm not going to buy a console. I'm not going to buy physical copies, because then we did the move from physical to digital. And then now digital is like, I don't even want to have to download these sons of bitches. Just give me a streaming app. Give me some good internet. I just have a TV and a controller. Boom. I'm ready. Let's play.
Right.
And I think that this kind of movement is going towards just people. They don't want to have anything except just give me the least amount of equipment possible in order to play the games that I want to play. And like companies are like, cool, if we don't have to make all these fucking boxes and we don't have to keep
Right.
making all these things and making sure that people have to deal, okay, yeah, your thing's broken, okay, send it in, we'll fix it, okay, like we'll deal with
and
that.
I think that's what like Xbox is trying to do with Project X Cloud, because like, you know, Phil Spencer got on there and he's like, the whole initiative is the Xbox Play Anywhere campaign. Like,
Yeah,
they want you to have the ability to play Xbox wherever you're at. You
Yeah.
know, you
Which
can
is not-
kind of
yeah,
already
which
do
is
that
cool.
right now. Like, they do have that integration with Game Pass, or trying to, where
yeah,
you got PC Game Pass, you've got Xbox Game Pass. There's a couple, like they have the Gears Pop game on mobile
the
phones, which you can
Funko
earn.
game?
Yeah, and you can earn achievements for it and link it with your Xbox Live. I think Minecraft on the Switch, you can earn gamer score for, and you can link it up with your Xbox Live. So their whole thing is, you know, they want to, with the xCloud, they want to get that, you know, like you said, you know, games as a service, you know, where it's like, hey, I'm at home. It's like, I'm trying to think of a way that it would fit into my life, and it kind of only would when I take lunch breaks at work.
Yeah,
But I'm like,
I want to access my games, but I can't bring all my hardware.
right. But I'm
can't.
putting myself more in the eyes of like a commuter, for example.
Yeah.
So say, you know, you work late at night and you get up early, you know, you get a couple shifts in Call of Duty in or something like that, right?
Mhm.
And then you're like, okay, I got to catch the train, bus, Uber, whatever. Well, now I can access this on my phone and I can play it on the way to work. I mean, I
Yeah.
hear that all the time with like a lot of big gaming publications, you know, my favorites like Giant Bomb, GameSpot, Kotaku.
Come
like,
on the pod.
right. Please. They're all located either in California, where they have to, or like New York, where they have to like commute. They have to take the train or something
Yeah.
like that. And a lot of them always talk about, yeah, like the Switch is a great
I
console
play
because
it on the go. Yeah.
yeah, the Switch essentially does what xCloud and Stadia are trying to do, but it's a physical device. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I can start it at home, but then now I have an hour commute to work and I want to continue, because what else am I going to do? Read a fucking book?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Call my parents? No.
At 8 in the morning.
Think about my kids? Absolutely not.
Fuck those kids. But you know what I mean, though?
Yeah,
So it's like, and that's kind of exciting, because I
Yeah.
definitely, that's one thing I like about the Switch, is that while it doesn't have the graphical
It's processing,
limitations,
yeah.
for lack of a
It's
better word,
limited, Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't have the graphical capabilities of an Xbox One or a PS4. What I've thoroughly enjoyed, like Pokemon comes out next Friday.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked to play that on my TV, but I'm also stoked when I get a lunch break, just to be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to run through like another gym, or maybe catch
Yeah.
this Pokemon, you know?
And
So
I think that this is kind of not a hot take, but this is like my understanding of it. This might be, you know, a little bit of a reach, but I feel like this is them trying to get at mobile users, like mobile phone gamers, which are technically gamers. They are playing games on their phone. I know we are biased. We think, oh, that's not fucking gaming. That's just playing Candy Crush on your phone.
right, I was
But-
gonna say my girlfriend's mom is a beast at Candy Crush, and I
Yeah.
love that woman, but like,
Yeah.
she's not a gamer.
She's a pro gamer.
I guarantee you, if I put this beautiful woman in front of a TV, choose your console, and she 1v1 me on Rust,
yeah.
she would immediately
gets
tell me I'm no
smacked.
longer allowed to date her daughter.
Yeah.
So I can't risk that.
But I'm like, I think this is obviously a more streamlined process to get access to the same video games that pro gamers like us are playing. So it's
Emphasis on the pro.
emphasis. We are pro gamers, but
I mean, that's what I do for work.
yeah, like when people are trying to get into gaming, which we did a long time ago, so we didn't have this kind of problem. But I feel like when people are trying to get into gaming or try to understand it at this day and age, there's so much stuff. It's like, well, what do you do? There's I could buy a PC. Okay, what's the difference between an Xbox and a PlayStation?
Yeah.
What's the difference? They're the same games. Which one should I get? Okay, well then Nintendo is this other like wild card in there. What the hell do I get access to the other games like with that?
Right.
This one,
Yeah, no, when you say it like that,
Yeah.
here's a poor analogy, but kind of. It's like, I used to read a lot of books growing up as a kid. Stopped reading books because I had to do it for school, and I was
because you're
annoyed with it,
stupid.
and because I'm fucking dumb. But recently I got into, hey, I'm going to download Kindle. I want to get into books again. I opened up the Kindle store and all these books, and I'm like,
Yeah.
where do I go?
Where do I start?
You know, my uncle has that same issue. A lot of times he just recently reached out to me. He's like, hey, have you played Red Dead 2? I just heard about it through some coworkers.
Yeah.
I know it came out a year ago. What do you think? And I'm like, honestly, man, I haven't touched it yet.
Yeah.
But maybe it's good.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's on sale, I'll buy it on my PlayStation and you can download it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
It's just we
they want to make it more accessible. And
Yeah.
Xbox is
a
taking
little
pretty
easier to understand.
And Xbox, I think Microsoft has taken a very good initiative with accessibility towards gaming as a whole, because I mean, if we just look at it at surface level and, you know, not try to break it down, it's an entertainment platform.
That's what it
you know,
is.
If
It's
you,
more
if you
of an
think about-
entertainment device than
and they're doing a lot in
yeah.
terms of, you know, it's like movie theaters. Like, how can we make movies and watching TV more accessible to the people that like to do that? Microsoft is taking that initiative. You know, they're making that adaptive controller for people with disabilities.
Which is dope, which is my favorite
Absolutely.
thing in the world.
Absolutely. One of my favorite things that, unfortunate, but also kind of a cool tidbit, was one of the members of the Xbox team. I can't remember if it was like Phil Spencer or someone like underneath him. There was a fairly well-known person, and I feel horrible that now I'm talking about this and I can't fucking think of the name. They had a disability. They were confined to a wheelchair. They would play Gears of War with the adaptive controller when it came out. A lot of the people at Microsoft and other people would play with this guy. No fucking clue he was in a wheelchair. No clue he had any
He would
disabilities.
just crush
This
people
dude
like normal.
slayed.
Yeah.
You know, and then they met him and they're like, oh shit, what's up? You know,
Yeah.
but
So
you
you're
know,
the guy that's been kicking my ass all
right. What the hell? Like,
Yeah.
I will, well, now I can't tell you that I'm going to, you know, do horrible things to you because, well, shit. But you know what I mean? And they're taking that initiative of trying to, you know, make gaming more inclusive.
Yeah, more
You know, 'cause for a
anybody
while-
can have a chance. You don't need to have the best equipment. You don't need
And
to have
gaming
all this
still
other stuff.
struggles with being inclusive.
Yeah.
You know, you have girls that are, you know, like women are going
Which
and streaming.
I think there's a misconception about women in gaming, which is a whole other
Right,
topic. I
you
think there
know.
are more women gamers than
But I
given
mean,
credit
dude, it's
for.
2019, and like I can't tell
Yeah.
you, like, I mean, I mute my microphone anytime I'm playing online games, but like
Yeah.
it's when I
People are
unmute it,
dicks.
dude, it's like 2007 all over
People
again.
are still
You
dicks
hear a
online.
girl with a cute voice, and all of a sudden they get all sexist and oh,
Yeah.
you got a boyfriend,
Women
like
streamers too have probably
oh,
that
you want to
problem.
do this to me, like, dude,
Yeah.
just like. You know, girls don't know anything about video games. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
I can name 10 personal friends of mine that are women that would blow anybody out of the water
Yeah.
in terms of gaming knowledge, you know?
And
And I feel like Xbox, I'm sorry to like cut you off, but
No,
like
it's okay.
I'm very passionate about
Women.
gaming. Well, of course, women. I love women, but like I'm very passionate about gaming. You know, this is my hobby.
For everybody.
If I can include as many people into
Yeah.
my hobby as possible, I would be stoked if I could pack my tiny ass apartment with friends and family playing whatever game we
Yeah.
feel like, you know. So I'm very passionate, and I get very frustrated when there's that toxic gaming community of, you know, oh, disabled this, girls that. Like, no,
Yeah.
dude, you
I think
you
it's
fucking-
just for them.
you power on the console the same fucking way that I power it on.
Everybody's got the same. You know,
The only
game
difference
that they're
is
playing.
what controller we're using.
Yeah.
Big deal. You
And
know what I mean?
That's the main point. Is what I think Google Stadia is trying to do. Is trying to make gaming.
Appeal to a broader audience.
Yeah, it's
right.
just, you don't have to be intimidated by which hardware to buy. You don't have to have, because I myself am kind of deterred from buying a PC because it's everything like the. This is kind of lame, but graphics cards kind of intimidate me.
I
'Cause
get
I'm
it.
like,
No,
I
I
don't know
absolutely
what
get
the
it.
fuck that is and why it's better than that one, other
Right.
than that the numbers are higher. That's
Right.
the only thing I got.
Well, and the difference is like, you know, so I'm in IT,
Yeah.
you're in law, you know, it's the same as when we went to First and Bowl and you read through that waiver where I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm signing it, whatever. How am I going to get hurt with a football?
Yeah.
But like, I can understand for someone like yourself, or, you know, even like,
Someone who has even less knowledge than me.
yeah, or my girlfriend or
Yeah.
whoever being like, I don't know the difference between an RX, you know, 480 and a GT 1050,
Which I don't.
you know, but like, yeah,
It's intimidating.
It is absolutely. I get
it will deter.
because,
It's like, well, then I'll just go do something else.
well, and then it's not even just like, even if you had the money to buy like what several publications determined to be the best graphics card,
you
the
can
best
look
build.
at every
There's still
single
all
review.
these settings within each and every game. I totally understand how it's
And
intimidating.
then you have to upgrade it like in 2 years or something.
X amount
when
of
it's like
time.
turned out this new one came out.
I
It's
get
like,
it.
what the hell?
No, trust me, I totally get
This
it. As somebody that does understand like the differences
lot of
and like
knowledge.
what parts do what, because even if you're looking to build your, so here's the thing is like, if you buy a pre-built gaming PC as somebody that does not understand gaming PCs, it's still intimidating, but you're kind of right on the money because all you have to worry about is graphics cards.
Yeah.
That's it. If you're somebody that doesn't have a clue, you need like on anything and you're looking to build your own gaming PC, you have to look at everything as a whole.
Yeah, you have to buy every single piece and make sure that it works together.
You've got certain motherboards that aren't compatible with certain processors, or you've got, like there's a lot of things that go into it where, and this is going to be essentially one of those things. I mean, maybe we're being too hopeful. I don't know.
I mean, we probably are giving it more credit than it needs
like
right
this
now.
This thing might launch and suck
thing.
ass, and the free launch might never come. I don't know.
But that's the thing.
I'm just hopeful for it because it's a little bit more inclusive and it does kind of, for lack of better words, dumb things down.
Yeah.
It does become one of those where it's like, I just have to worry about my internet bill. Like, oh, I want to play. They recommend, what is it? I want to say like 25 download, like 25 megabits download.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Which isn't that hard.
I'm getting from my internet service provider 14. All right, I got to pay more money because my son wants to play.
Which it's not, I mean,
and my son's just going to play Fortnite.
It's making it a lot easier to understand for people who want to either get into gaming or who are already gaming and are like, oh man, I don't have to spend a bunch of money doing the shit I already want to do.
And it's a good gateway too, because like we mentioned earlier, I mean, we're probably going to start seeing or dealing with and seeing how Google handles latency issues and all of that stuff. But it's kind of a good entryway into, especially if you do more of the PC side of things, because this is going to be open-ended. You can stream through your Chromecast and you can play with the controller. So it's going to give you almost that console experience.
Yeah.
But they are launching, Elder Scrolls Online is the one that's launching. You can play that on PC too.
Yeah.
They're going to launch a lot of games that are PC compatible. So it's going to almost give you the best of both worlds, PC gaming, console gaming. And then if you really are into it, you can start dipping your toes into, well, Sony and Microsoft are still releasing consoles. Let me purchase one. Let me drop the $400. Or if the PC side of things interests you, you start picking up some articles online about how do I build a gaming PC? What's the best graphics card? How much RAM do I need? Is this really the best cooler for my CPU and all this other shit?
That's kind like I probably am giving Google Stadia a little bit more credit than they might not think that this is what they're doing with this.
I'm very hopeful about this.
It sounds like this is what this is going to be. This is going to take people who have no idea about anything with gaming, but they're like, yeah, I can download an app on my phone or my TV.
Yeah. No, I'm absolutely
hopeful. And then like, ooh, what's this game that I can just play? Sure, that sounds cool.
Well, you think
I only need to just have a TV
or a tablet or a phone.
Or the fact that this works on like phones and tablets is even more nuts.
And I'm the same way. Maybe I'm giving it more credit. This thing might tank in 6 months.
Well,
it might tank in 5 years.
We're just trying to see what can happen.
Yeah, but I am excited at the prospect of building a digital game library and then being able to go, okay, I'm at home playing it, and then now I'm at work. I got a couple minutes to crank out. Hey, let me log on my tablet with iOS 13 because I'm an Apple user.
Yeah.
I can connect my controller to it. Let me bang out this quest in whatever fucking game I'm playing. Now, excuse me. With that being said, the one thing I am worried about, it being Google, is Google has a very, very good tendency to start something and then go,
and then dip.
Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, when was the last time you posted on Google Plus?
I don't even remember. I remember Google Plus as a thing,
you remember that?
I don't ever remember like wanting to do it. Which
that was their foray into social media.
They might
and that's
bail if it doesn't work.
And that's what worries me about this. Like, of course, I'm very hopeful. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass.
Yeah,
maybe
the idea is attractive to us.
Very, and I feel like it's got some leg because if they can at least hold out until Xbox fully releases Project X Cloud, because right now it's in the beta, but if they fully release it and they can kind of pick apart, okay, what is Xbox, what's Microsoft doing right, How can we incorporate that?
Or
maybe this
Xbox is like, what did Google fuck up?
Right. Maybe this has some life to it, you know, because I mean, if you think about it, Microsoft has an entire team since 2001, even earlier, dedicated to their gaming section. It's grown from, hey, here's this box and we're calling it the Xbox. Here's Halo to it's have one of the top
multiple places that only work on Microsoft Xbox games.
And so to quote another podcast, when I was listening to the Giant Bombcast, Jeff Gersman, who's, you know, very
Come on the pod.
Yeah. God, I would fangirl, but you know, he's very well known.
You are a boy,
he's fanboy. He's very well known in the gaming community. You know, he's done a lot over the last 20 years with gaming editorial. Think of Jeff Keighley, you know, like I would put them almost on the same level. The thing that makes me hopeful about Stadia is the fact that, you know, they were talking about it on the Giant Bombcast the other day, and Gersman straight up just said, you know, I've got a weird feeling about this. I also had a weird feeling when Microsoft announced the Xbox.
Yeah.
And here we are, you know, so who knows? This might be one of those, like, this might be an N-Gage. This might be an Xbox.
That's the thing. The idea of it is something that I feel like if Google doesn't succeed, they might not be the right people to do it, but somebody will do it right. And like that, because I feel like that's where we're going. That's
you've got basically 4 companies doing it right now.
And like this sounds very millennial. This sounds very like new age, but like
hit me with it.
With everything going streaming, with Disney Plus, with Hulu, with Netflix, with all this other stuff, it's only a matter of time before it becomes a fixture in games that it's like, this is how games are now. Like there's clearly, if you want to buy, you know, the Avengers movie on Blu-ray, go buy it on Amazon, go to Barnes and Noble, go to Walmart, go to Best Buy, go somewhere you can buy it. Right. But if you want to stream it, there's 3 streaming services that have it. Go download it, and then you don't have to.
Right.
So it's like games are going to be that same way. If you want to have the console because you like it, you're used to it, you have your achievement points, you have your trophies, you have your profile, you have your friends, you want to stick to it because you already are inside of it. And I am really deeply into PlayStation and I want to buy these games, you still can. But if you want to ditch that stuff and you just like the games, you just want to play them, you don't want to have to worry about like, well, my PlayStation's getting really old and I have to buy a new one, or my, you know, it
eliminates that like 7-year console life cycle of, you know,
just like,
all right, I'm going to have this thing for 7 years, some hardware revisions, and I got to drop another $400.
Yeah. It's like, just focus on your internet, get a decent TV.
You only have to get a new PC when your PC shits out.
And then it's the new people who's like, I want to get into gaming, but I don't know where to start. This is a good idea because here's all these games that you can try. And if you don't like it, then yeah, maybe fine. You're not interested in gaming. But if you do, it might open you up to like, hey, there are complete systems that already exist that have more games like this that you can get. Then you'll kind of narrow it down. So it's like that's what I said at the beginning of this. I feel like it should be a bigger story than it actually is. Which is I hope it's not overhyped.
It's not overhyped. It's
which I'm saying, like it might be a good thing that it's not huge. It might be like, holy shit, this is great. Because I'm sure Netflix started as like you mail in your movie and then
that's
you
still
get
a thing.
I know,
by the way.
But
I'm saying that for people that don't know that. That's still a fucking thing.
If you want to mail in a movie,
go ahead. I had a coworker that the other day was like, I really wanted to see this movie and it wasn't on Netflix, so I fucking got the DVD. And I remember sitting, I turned my chair in my cube and I was like, hold up,
you can still
you got the fucking DVD?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I still pay the extra however much a month. I was like, you go to the post office for that shit?
Yeah, and you put it in your mailbox and send it out the next day. Like that's how it started.
GameFly is still fucking striving.
Yeah.
Who's paying for GameFly?
GameFly always sounded like a great idea when I was like, yeah, GameFly sounds awesome, but I never did.
Can I take 5 minutes?
Go ahead.
Can I take 5 minutes?
Go ahead.
This will never be a sponsor because I will never allow it to be a sponsor.
GameFly, come on the pod.
Parents, earmuffs for the kids.
Okay.
At the most significant level that I could ever emphasize this, fuck GameFly. GameFly as a service is so ass, it's unreal. Have you ever used?
I have never, no.
Let me
You are on your own with this one.
let me lead you on
Paint me a word picture.
on a side path. We're doing a side quest here. All right. The main story quest is Google Stadia. The side quest is fuck GameFly. GameFly operates similar to Netflix's former business model prior to streaming.
You mail get a game mailed to you mail it back.
Correct. I believe that they're starting or trying to do some sort of streaming. Maybe I'm just making this up as I'm going.
Who knows?
Anyways, when I tried it, same model. You pay the $15 a month. I did the free month.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So I did the free month and then I paid for a second month, right? You choose a game. If it's not a high in demand game, typically it would take a couple days because, well,
High in demand.
postal service.
Yeah.
Not even the high in demand. It's just postal service. It just shit takes time to ship. Whatever.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted that newest Call of Duty, you had to click. And things might have changed since the last time I tried this because I gave this like 2-3 years ago. I tried this and I was like, never fucking again. If you wanted the latest and greatest game, Call of Duty came out, Devil May Cry, Gears, whatever it was, you had to click that you had an interest. Now, if you got lucky and they had the inventory for it, they would try to ship it as close to release day as possible. If you weren't lucky, you had to wait until they got the inventory, which could mean they either purchased more copies or somebody was like,
back.
I'm done with this game and sent it back. So you're paying $15 a month
to maybe get it a week after it comes out.
I got the free month trial. They had they had like Netflix, like where you pick a queue, and you're like, here's my top priority going down. And they just fucking were like, all right, well, 1 through 3 we don't have. Here's number 4.
Yeah.
I remember at the time I wanted the newest Call of Duty, the newest NBA game, and some other game that came out around that time. My fourth option was purely because I'm a gamer score whore.
Yeah.
And it was Cars 2.
You got Cars 2.
I got Cars 2 before any of those other games. I remember being...
he's interested in Cars 2. We should give him Cars 2.
It's not that I was interested. I wanted the gamer score, and they were like, we have so many copies, we don't know what to do with it.
We have 300 copies
within
of Cars
3
2.
business
Please
days. Within 3 business days, they sent me Cars 2 on the Xbox 360.
All right.
I sent back Cars 2. And then I thought, this is my time. I'm going to get the first game.
They'd reset to 1, 2, 3.
They set my 5th game, which I don't remember. Dude, fuck GameFly.
Okay, yeah.
It is how
GameFly.
it's still in business is who's paying these motherfuckers?
Somebody who thinks they're going to get Call of Duty, but they get Cars 2 instead.
Hopefully I didn't go over my 5 minutes. That was my...
No, you're fine.
Fuck
GameFly is the... Which, I mean...
I might honestly renew it just to have another bad experience. Just for the sake of having a bad experience.
Just because I want to be hurt again.
I haven't been angry recently, and I feel like I need to get angry.
You need a scapegoat for your anger. But
sorry to sidetrack.
It's okay. With GameFly and Google Stadia, we think it's going to be a great thing because the way things are now, the way things are moving, we don't want physical things. We want it to be easy. We want it to just pop up our laptop and then boom, I can get into my games. But I don't want to actually have to plug in a console, start it, blah, 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 blah.
So here's another thing that worries me is I'm always worried with Microsoft or Sony just pulling the plug.
Yeah, bailing.
Because at that point, like you said earlier, you're paying for the license to play these games.
Yeah.
You don't actually physically, gone are the days.
They can take them from you whenever they want.
Gone are the days of, hey, I just purchased this game and I pop it in and it just goes. All the code is in the disc. Now everything is
this one, if they lock you out or they're having problems, no one's
That's
playing.
my big concern is when, I didn't pay for the Founders Edition. I'm probably going to go with the free version. I'm going to buy 1, maybe 2 games. I can sacrifice $120.
Yeah, you're going to buy the games anyway.
The worst thing that I would ever imagine would be this thing kind of like Google, goes and goes for a couple of years and then they just fucking pull the plug.
It dies and then you don't get access to your games anymore and you just spent...
And dude, you hear of people with a Steam library of like 6,000 plus games. That's
Yeah.
Even if you bought those all on a discount, that's a lot of money. Even if each game you got for $1, that's still $6,000.
Which I think I heard that you don't keep your Steam games if you die. You lose them. So don't die if you have Steam.
Are we going on another side bit here?
Well, no,
Excuse me?
I'm just saying. I think I heard that somewhere where it's if you die, you can't leave someone your Steam games.
Can you leave them like your username and password?
No.
I mean, well, what are they going to do if they sign in? Are they just
I don't think
do they have an algorithm that looks at an account and be like, this account's been up for 80 years?
I guess
this
they're not
person
going
should
to
be
care,
dead.
but like literally, I think you can't. Like they don't want you to do that. Like you can't actually leave someone your Steam library in your will because they're all licenses.
Again, it's kind of funny for me to think that there's an algorithm or Steam detects that your account's been active
This
for
guy's
80
dead,
years
right?
and goes,
I think he's dead.
we need to see some identification. We need you to kind of like Reddit.
What's your social security number?
Hold up a little sign that says I am alive, and you with your ID and thumbs up.
Yeah. Which
Give me that.
Google bailing on this is a fear that everybody's going to have, but hopefully they don't. Hopefully they hit something that's perfect that they don't that they continue on. I mean, Google also has things that they have kept alive for a long time that they necessarily didn't have to. And
Like
then
their search engine.
And like Google. But if somebody's copying it, like they're not going to, like if this has success in somebody else's platform, there's no way they're going to ditch it on their own. And if it does, then somebody else is going to do it better. Like if they don't succeed, somebody probably will, because this is just how games are going to go.
I guess it's a wait and see.
Yeah. Like we're going to,
the Founders Edition comes out in a week. We'll see some early impressions.
I'm interested.
We'll actually get our hands on when the free version comes out, because I'll definitely try that.
I just really hope it's not like a ploy to get people to buy Google Fiber.
I mean, I would if it came here.
I mean, it sounds great.
Because besides fuck GameFly, fuck Spectrum.
True. Which if we do not de-endorse Spectrum. It's just
I absolutely do. I used to work for you motherfuckers.
Spectrum.
Fuck your work environment and fuck. I'm just kidding.
But I think it might be just, hey, if you want Google Stadia to work the best, why don't you get Google Fiber? Because it will.
I mean, that's why
it's going to be. Well, then why don't you get a Google TV, or why don't you get like a Google whatever?
Chromecast,
yeah, like
for the best experience.
I mean, it might be a ploy to sell some more shit, but
that's why Apple Music works on the nation's best network.
If it works, who cares? You know, if it's great and it does what we think it's going to do, this could be game changing.
Hey, if it's around until I die,
in a year, we don't know.
If I spend a lot of money and it's around until I die, like you said with the Steam library, to be honest with you, I care only about myself accessing it.
Yeah.
So if I have my entire Steam library and I fucking die,
sure,
I don't care if my family members can't touch it. It's of no use to me. Also, I'm dead.
Don't touch my save files. Like, I earned that.
Who? Really, I'm going to give my kid my Steam library? Build your own.
Yeah.
Build your own. But Dad had to grind for this view of 8,000 games.
You're going to have to learn.
Out of these 8,000, Dad only plays one. And it's Dota 2. And that's all he plays.
But as you can tell by the last 45 minutes, we're pretty excited.
Stoked.
We probably are building this up to be, which we think it should be. We think it should be built up to be this big thing because it's kind of a big deal. And the fact that it's only like, hey, yeah, Google Stadia, well, okay. Whatever.
We're either going to look like jackasses
or geniuses
or prophets. Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll have to wait and see.
Jackass or genius is probably a apt name.
Genius jackasses.
Yeah.
We're no longer board certified. We're genius jackasses.
There you go. Or jackass geniuses.
GJ.
I mean, I'm interested. I don't know how much money I'm going to put in, but it will. I think it sounds better than buying a whole computer.
Yeah.
Just to figure this whole crap out and then having to buy another computer in like a year.
I'm down to getting arguments with my girlfriend about getting off Netflix so I can play.
Yeah. And it's like, it's easier to understand.
You're clogging up the bandwidth.
It's easier to understand in terms of subscription fees than it's like, well, you got to buy this thing. Okay. Well, I bought this thing. Well, now you got to buy the game. Okay. Well, I bought the game. Well, now you got to buy the subscription service to play it online. Okay, well, I bought that.
And it's
compatible.
compatible.
Then now you got to buy the in-game stuff to do this.
Well, and it's compatible with any like controllers that Windows detects. So you don't necessarily have to buy the Google Stadia controller. If you have any controller that your computer detects,
works, yeah,
it works. You just map the buttons.
So if you guys get it or we get it, we'll obviously let you know how it's going. We are interested. We're going to keep track of how it's doing and what's up with it, and where it moves on. Like we said, it's coming out in a week, the Founders Edition. So we'll see if it's a hit or if it's a dud. We don't know. I mean, we're interested. It's definitely could be a breakthrough towards the next level. Like with the new consoles coming out, it might be an addition and a whole little wrinkle in the console wars. Because if
it'll be
everybody,
interesting to see how that goes, how Project X Cloud goes.
because this might be taking off by the time the new consoles comes out, and this is like, hey, people are all wanting these consoles, but it's like, yeah, well, if you go Google Stadia, you don't need them.
Right.
Like we're already have our library is nuts. And that's a final point I have is it's crazy how their library is like actual games. And I'm like, why aren't they having
not just like a bunch of indie games?
Yeah, like the games you can just like get for $5 everywhere else. Like, no, they have legitimate video games on here that are crazy, like actual titles.
Right.
So your cats are going nuts, man.
They want food. I don't feed them,
Which
though.
I do too. So
The girlfriend does. That. We do have some tasty za waiting for us.
Yeah. So we're excited. We're gonna keep tabs on this, and we're probably the leading experts on Google Stadia.
At least in my apartment.
Yeah, I mean, in this
my girlfriend has no clue about
Yeah.
Google Stadia.
Which she might in the future. That's the point. She might. That might be her way in.
When she sees me glued to my PC.
There you go. Like,
she's like, why is our internet bill so high? I'm like, why do you care? Don't worry about it. I'll pay for it. It's fine. Just here, put it on my credit card. God.
I am waiting for the days where I only have to worry about internet. That's it. Like, that's it.
Hey, man.
Just make sure I got good internet.
I'm in those days. Boom. I always worry about internet.
True.
I'm like, what do you mean I'm only getting 12 megs
Which
down?
is true. I mean, gamers actually understand, like, are you kidding me? Like, I have the best internet I can
actually
possibly
follow Ask Spectrum because anytime there's an outage in the Milwaukee area, I want to know.
Is there an outage?
I literally DM them and I go, what the fuck?
When is this guy back?
Yeah.
So that's Google Stadia.
That's our podcast.
We are Board Certified Gaming. Check us out on
BCG.
everything. Twitter, Instagram.
In person.
YouTube. Say hi to us if you meet us.
Yeah.
If you want to send fan anything, we have an email address.
Word. We're doing that.
Yes, we are.
Don't send hate mail.
Don't send hate mail.
I will read it.
And we will reply to you because obviously you sent us your email address.
I type 115 words per minute. I will plug in 2 keyboards just to tell you off.
boardcertifiedgaming@gmail.com. Hit us up.
Please let the first email, if anybody's listening to this, please let the first email go regarding GameFly. And then I just want the body to say, fuck GameFly.
Please do that.
Please.
We appreciate it. So we are ending the podcast for this week. We'll be back next week. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, review, all that fun stuff. Check out our Patreon, all that fun stuff. If you got this far, we applaud you.
Thank you. Hug your loved ones. Tell them to listen to this too.
Yeah. And,
nervous about that first date? Well, light some candles. Cook some chicken parmesan.
Put on some music.
No. Why music? Put us on.
Dude, oh, true.
Here, right here.
You don't need music. We're here.
You are about to be entered.
Our soothing voices will make everything okay.
We'll make like a bonus episode for the Patreon where it'll be like just us talking in very seductive voices.
Yeah, ASMR. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah.
Or an
We could probably
AMAR.
if we can build this community enough, we might be able to do book Cameo where people pay.
There you
people
go.
pay and we could just sit there and be like, hello, Stacy, you're about to be seductively entered by Garrett.
Yeah. I mean, these are all just workshopping ideas. We'll figure it out. But we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Love you guys. Peace.
Later.